Welcome back to the Traders Network. I'm Michael Yorba, your host. Thanks for joining us. We're also streaming to you live on yorbamedia.com. All right, it is my esteemed pleasure to bring on Bill Tsumpes, CEO, T3 Motion. Bill has been in the manufacturing industry for well over 35 years, but he has managed to take a small company and turn it around and do things that most people just dream of. That's why I want him on the show. Talk to us about what he's done, how he got into the business, and what's going to happen next with his stock. TTTM is the symbol. So, ladies and gentlemen, please look that up. It is a bargain at any price. All right. Come on in, Bill. Welcome to the show. Thank you for showing up.
Hey, good afternoon, Michael. Thank you very much for the call today, sir.
All right. My pleasure. You have a string of successes behind you. Briefly, if you can, give our audience a feel for who you are. Let's talk about the company, what it does, how you got into it, and what's going to happen next.
Well, all right. A little bit of my background. I've been in manufacturing in the electronics industry and the wireless industries, actually, for about 35 years. I've served as a wireless architect for Bosch Worldwide, including their Bosch security unit here in the U.S. I build in another company that I own. We build satellite tracking systems for all the big car security companies, such as AudioVox and Code Alarm and others. And I also do a lot of intellectual property and a lot of, technology development. Matter of fact, companies such as ADT, GE Security, and others, Alarm.com, all use my patented security today for automation in the alarm industry. So I've got, a good background here of technology and electronics. And I came into T3 Motion, Mike, I guess it's been a little over about 8 months ago. I was on a golf course one afternoon with a friend of mine who was the founder of T3 Motion. And he told me that T3 Motion was a great opportunity and I should buy all the company shares I could get. So I went out the following week and bought $500,000 in the open market without looking at the performance of the company and looked back at him about 2 weeks later and went, well, you should have told me some of this stuff, or maybe I should have looked. So as I looked at the company was struggling with a really poor financial background and history, struggling from sales weren't too bad. It was doing about $5.5 million a year, but the overhead was so bad there was just no way it was ever gonna make a profit like it was. And so, a few months later, I began expressing my concerns to the board as the company's performance was a lot less than what I anticipated and hoped it would be. Had some meetings with the board and ultimately was placed on the board, to help try and guide the company. With my background, it was kind of a natural fit for me. So as I got into the board there and started looking and having some access to some of the company's, processes and the way management ran the company, I began identifying a lot of problems with the company. And then about February of 2013, actually the company's then CEO, who was a gentleman who had been vice president of marketing for DirecTV, VP under Michael Dell at Dell Computer and others, was struggling with the company, had lost another $3 or $4 million in the preceding 6 months, and he decided he'd had enough and he couldn't take it. So he stepped aside, and there I was sitting on the board of directors, and I stepped up and said, gentlemen, let me fix it. So, the board was gracious enough to give me the company, allow me to come in here and try and resolve the problems that we've had. And in the first 2 quarters in office, we've improved our financial performance about 80%. We've improved our margins from about 18.9% to better than 30%. I'm hoping 35% here as we get our Q done in the quarter. And we're building a whole new organization and a whole new company that I think has a very bright future.
Okay, without a doubt. And you're the right guy for the right job. Now, before we go any further, T3 Motion, tell our audience, what do they do?
So T3 Motion is really the world's premier manufacturer of electric stand-up vehicles. We build vehicles primarily for law enforcement and government applications. Matter of fact, one of our best customers is right there in Dallas. We sell vehicles to the city of Dallas and Dallas Police Department. You'll see our vehicles downtown in the metro area and also out at DFW out there. Matter of fact, we're working on a new deal for the city. The Dallas Police Department has just made a request to purchase 80 additional vehicles for the city's use there and all their substations around the city. And to the best of my knowledge and information, actually 7-Eleven has stepped up and agreed or offered or already funded, I believe, up to $400,000 of that purchase. We had Dallas officers here just 2 weeks ago reviewing some changes and updates that we're doing to a vehicle that will be designed and built specifically to handle their needs there in Dallas. Our vehicles are in use on college campuses such as USC, where USC in California has got 30 vehicles. You go to the subways in New York, we got 50 of them in the subways. You go to the local airports here. We've got the vehicles, a new model that we came out with actually 2 months ago that's being used inside the terminal buildings for terminal security. And we also, of course, have our larger patroller vehicle that's in use in the parking lots. And again, we've got distribution through about 30 countries in the world. We're distributed. We've got the Brazilian armed services down there using our vehicles. We've got the CIA, the FBI, law enforcement agencies and government worldwide, including the U.S. military services that use the vehicles for patrol and security applications.
What kind of new markets do you think that you're looking to get into as we go forward?
Well, one of the things that I identified when I first got into office was the fact that the company was a one-product company. And so just based on my experience in life and in business, having one thing to offer is probably not the way to build a successful business. And being totally dependent upon the sales of that one vehicle. So we're expanding into several new markets. We've got a handicap unit that we're working on. We're also moving into a near-field emergency sort of medical transport vehicle, a utility vehicle that we plan to be able to sell to stadiums and for use in, whether it be a football player. If you've ever been to an NFL game or watch it on TV, you'll see an injured football player on a football field, and they haul him off in a golf cart. So, he may take a severe hit. He could have a number of different, life-threatening, injuries. And at this time, all they do is they haul him off in a golf cart down the tunnel and take him back to the locker room where the medical staff there, the physicians for the team, examine him. So we've got a new concept that'll be very valuable in any kind of public environment, which is a near-field, low power, 30-mile-an-hour speed, actually, emergency medical transport with life support and all these sorts of systems on it. Available that'll be able to be driven onto the field. So we've got vehicles like that. We've also got a new light material handling vehicle. So today you go to operations. I was up in a U-line facility, about 200,000 square foot facility in Ontario, California, about 3 months ago. And as we were looking around the facility, these guys are moving boxes of paper and pencils around on forklifts. And we're saying, this is just kind of ridiculous. If they're running a $75,000 forklift to the operation there in the warehouse to pick pencils and paper clips. So, we've got a new electric vehicle that we plan to deploy maybe I hope within 90 days. For sure it'll be in the first quarter. And additionally, we're working a lot on trying to refine our current offering. We're adding features, making it more cost competitive. And actually, we're doing a lot of work to try and reduce the cost of the product, which will allow us to get more margin out of the product. So today,
I wanted to go in on that point right there. You impressed me earlier today in the conversation. I want you to tell the audience what you did in a way of turning this company around for break even on margins and costs. Bring that out just a little bit.
Sure. So when I got to the company would have had to have sold 550 vehicles a quarter for break even. Traditionally, the company is only selling about 125 to 150 vehicles a quarter. So based on all the changes to our operations, and we haven't really downsized the company, what we've done is make it more efficient and more agile and more responsive. We can actually break even at just over 80 vehicles a quarter. So, the company last year lost about $6.25 million in cash. This year at the current run rate, I could run the whole company with no sales on $1 million a year. And this, again, I've only been in office for 2 quarters. So, we've got a great plan here going forward. We did a lot of things to reduce costs. As an example, we were spending more than $37,000 a month on product liability and D&O policies and things of that nature. We've cut those costs down significantly. We've saved more than $120,000 a year on our insurance premiums. Our rent, we've got 35,000 square feet of prime office space, on the flight line at John Wayne Airport in Newport Beach, California. We were paying almost $1 a foot there with all the common burden and all the other stuff that went with it. It was over $36,000 a month. I renegotiated that lease from $36,000 down to $12,500. We've just gone through all of our suppliers. We had a payroll that was running better than $300,000 a month that today is under $90,000 a month.
Bill, we're going to need to end it there because we're out of time, but I want also everybody here to know you also are employing people in Dallas. You got about 160 employees in a new facility here in town?
Sure. So the Dallas order is an example. Will be built in Carlton, Texas there. It's going to be a great new operation for us. We've started production there about 2 weeks ago. Better logistic location for us, shipping vehicles nationally out of Dallas than it is out of Los Angeles. And, T3 thinks that there's a great future there in Dallas for the people of Dallas, and we sure are proud to have the relationship that we have with the department there and look forward to anything that we can do to help the local economy as well. T3, again, I'd like to thank you for the time here today. I'd
Contact.
love to, if anybody's got any questions, love to take calls or whatever it is, anything I can answer from anybody, I'd be more than happy to take those calls.
I was just going to go there. Give us contact information. How does our audience, one, talk to your investor relations company about what your company is doing, and reach out for any of the conversation you brought to the table to find you?
I'm going to actually give out a direct line here for myself. It's area code 949-521-4200. That's 949-521-4200. Investor relations can be reached at investor@t3motion.com. That's T as in Tango, the number 3, the digit, motion.com. The company's website is www.t3motion.com.
And the symbol for your stock?
TTTM, sir, Mike.
All right, Bill, we're going to bring you back for an update. I know you're going to just knock the cover off the ball with this thing.
Next quarter, we're going to do some great things here. So again, I welcome that, and I appreciate the time and the call here today, and thank you to the audience. Very pleased to be a part of this. Thank you, sir.
Me too. All right, everybody, that was Bill Tsumpes, CEO, T3 Motion. T3motion.com is the website. Look him up. You're going to be very happy with what's going on, what's going to come next. All right, up next, Ira Epstein, Director, Ira Epstein Lynn Group. We have got a go-to webinar simulcast. Go on to the homepage, yorbamedia.com, drop to the bottom, click on Ira's banner, and join in the webinar. We'll be right back after these messages.